Yeah. Hey, Souls of Mischief in the house.
Woo-hoo! And you're watching Hip Hop Vancouver.
I need a chill from 93 till.
Yeah, this is how we chill from 93 till.
This is how we chill from 93 till.
Are you guys ready for the Souls of Mischief?
What's up, y'all? You're locked into Hip Hop Vancouver. I'm John Zee, and we're coming to you from the ancestral and unceded territories of the Coast Salish people, including the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh. And right now, I'm chilling with one of the most influential rap groups of all time, hailing from Oakland, California, the mighty Souls of Mischief crew, Hieroglyphics. What's up, y'all?
Hey.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? My name is Tajay from Souls of Mischief Crew.
Peace, world. My name's OPO.
Peace, everybody. A+, Souls of Mischief.
I'm Domino from the Hieroglyphics Crew, taking up space.
Before we jump into this, I just wanted to give you all a special gift from Vancouver. It's a delicacy, some might call it as well. I interviewed Tajay about 10 years ago, and in our interview, he was snacking on this big bag of like candied salmon that he got from Granville Island Market. And he says when he comes to Vancouver, he tries to make a point of going over there and getting it. So this morning, I went to the market, picked up my man some candied salmon here, boy.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
That's awesome. That's very thoughtful, man.
Share it with the boys.
Word up.
That's
Love.
Thank you.
man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's very thoughtful.
And put the salmon in the big bag.
So you're in Vancouver, and you're on tour celebrating 30 years of your classic album, 93 Till Infinity. And congratulations, brother.
Thank you.
Absolutely. But we're also at the same time all collectively celebrating a milestone, and that's like 50 years of hip hop, right?
Yes.
Yeah, man. And so 30 years, 50 years. Curious as you ruminate on your careers and your places, also obviously producers and rappers, but community members and just fans of this culture. What thoughts and reflections come up for Souls of Mischief?
Ooh, just keep doing it, you know? Like, I feel like we're about halfway, you know, midpoint. Maybe even before the midpoint, as long as we continue. Fortunately, we're in hip hop, and your brain, the more information you have, the more technical skill you have, you can get better and better. It's just about wanting to get out and do it. So I would say, keep doing it. That's what I would say to all hip hoppers, with practitioners of anything, even those where maybe your physical skills are required. Figure out other ways to do what you want to do, even as your body ages.
Okay. Anybody else? You got 50 years of hip hop. You're celebrating your anniversary of your album.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of significant in many ways. I mean, I never couldn't imagine what 30 years would even feel like, and the fact that it actually coincides with 50 years of hip hop, because we're fans first, you know, and we just love the culture and have participated in it in every way. Like, I was DJing, I was trying to write graffiti, I was breakdancing, just excelled at emceeing. And I feel like very much I was like raised in the culture, you know, of hip hop. And I'm just thankful that it's, you know, still going strong. And thanks to all the pioneers and the OGs that gave us, you know, because we standing on their shoulders, you know what I mean?
So tell me the recipe for success for Souls of Mischief, sticking together as like a unit and a crew all these years, because, you know, as we've seen a lot of rap groups that get messy beefs and they break up, but y'all seem like you're jamming together, like the energy's still there from like 30 years ago, you know what I mean? So like, is there like a recipe for success for like keeping everything together?
Man, really, you know, the love for hip hop, the love for the culture that we grew up, like Ope said, it raised us and we grew up with it, and that's been our unifying factor since then, from that point back in the day as kids to this point in the very present. And it's done very well for us, you know. It's we've had a great run to this point, and we're still going strong, and so why even deviate? You know, we've really had no reason to deviate. We started out like this, these are our dreams, we're gonna make our dreams come true, and we're still living them. So it's like we just continue to do what we've been doing and focus on our love for this culture and this music, and be thankful and grateful for what it's brought to us and our lives and the people around us. Yeah, just that's all the motivation in the world, you know, and just it stays surreal to us. You know, it's still like we're like super fans that just got to a point to where you know, we got some good breaks and we were skilled enough and had honed our craft enough to where we just got in where we did, and we're still there. So it stays surreal to us, and we're thankful every day.
Anything is possible when you put your mind to it. Hey, one step to it. I'm gonna put your kids, cerebellum. If you live, then I tell them I'll be possessed from it.
Domino, you've been managing them from the very start, haven't you? Like, was it like you started when you were 21, and these guys were what, like 16 or something like that? Like, I mean, we're talking a long time here, guys. Like, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I managed them in the beginning, and I also did a lot of the production on 93 Till Infinity and other albums subsequently. And so, yeah, man, it's always, you know, they're my brothers. You know, that's pretty much the extent of it. So we, you know, it's great to have a family that you can roll with for 30 years. You know, it's amazing.
Yeah, well, as fans growing up, you guys were like superheroes to us. Like, so it's glad to see that the click didn't break up, you know, and stuff like that. Where we're celebrating you 30 years later. So, so recently the Hieroglyphics Crew, all of you guys were up at Shambhala, which is Canada's largest outdoor electronic music festival. Walk me through your experience at this festival, because it's not your typical hip hop venue, right? Like, what was how was the vibes up there for you guys?
It was really cool, and we got a sort of like a VIP tour after rocking. We rocked in the living room, which is like a daytime stage. I mean, I guess it's a stage all night, but after that, some fellas walked us around all the other stages, and it's a marvel, you know, like a technological marvel, and also just a marvel of just the good vibe, like being able to maintain those good vibes. I mean, I know there's substances also maintaining those vibes, but I'm saying being able to maintain those good vibes on such a large scale is awesome, and that's kind of testament not only to the people and their attitude, but also to the environment that the Shambhala staff have put forth. Man, it was really cool. Everybody was cooperative. Nobody was on, you know, weird. You know, like everybody was really, really cool. You know, like and for something at that scale, for there to not be like some dark corner or something like that, was pretty cool. Or maybe I just missed the dark corner and I was looking for it.
But how was your set too? Like, I mean, I was jamming. I was there. We were there. I was watching y'all on the side stage. It looked like a real live set. But like, I was kind of curious how the vibe was for you guys up there.
That set was crazy because we had been doing a lot of shows just at Souls of Mischief. So when we kind of teamed up with the whole crew, Hyro, you know what I mean? That's always fun for us, you know?
Yeah.
So I didn't really know what to expect, but it was like as soon as we hit the stage, the energy in the crowd was just insane. I mean, after I got off stage, I was like, wow, that was special, you know? And, you know, just to piggyback on what Tajay said, they just had this incredible vibe that was going there, and people just seemed in this really positive, happy mood, you know? So, and that is infectious. So, I mean, I thought it was just technically a very good show, but it also was a blast. Like, I had so much fun up there. But I think we actually it was one of our best shows ever, I would say, you know?
So see you guys back up there sometime in the future, or what?
I hope so.
Yeah. Let's talk about touring for a minute. Let's talk about the road. You guys are on the road right now. I think, is it 93 dates in total, like to commemorate, obviously, 93 to Infinity?
At least 93 at this point. It's certainly looking like it's going to be a lot more, but we're calling it 93. It's, you know, yeah.
And I mean, as we know, like the road is like a real like living, breathing, tangible thing, but it's also like super unrelenting, right? Like it's exhausting in a lot of ways. Like prior to coming here in Van City, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys were like coming from Boise, Idaho, 9.5 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you're here, you know? And it's not, what I think a lot of people probably think is that it's just the most incredible job ever, right? Like, and in many aspects it probably is, but you know, it's really hard work, right? And it's hard work on yourself. No?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but like, I mean, harder than sitting at a desk all day. You know what I'm saying? No, like,
okay.
You know, eating dry sandwiches and stuff. What I mean,
the sandwiches got to be dry.
It's work, but it's the work we love, though. You know, it's what we love doing. So it's like technically we have to call it work, but it doesn't feel like work. It's what's that saying? When you're doing what you love and you look up and hours have gone past and it seemed like minutes, then that's what you should be doing. That's kind of how it is out here. I mean, it's certainly not for everybody. It's not, if you don't love this, you're not really gonna do this. It's not cool at all if you don't absolutely love it. But if you love it, it's like you wouldn't want to be doing anything else, even though it's admittedly rough, especially with a rougher schedule And we've done some rough schedules in our career, and it can get harder. But it's kind of difficult for us to call it like the hardest work in the world, because this is like we're living the dream, you know. Like, well, we'll gladly do all the work that comes with this.
So how do you guys like actually like tour well together, and like what insights do you have for people that like just think tour life's like a breeze? You know what I mean? Like what sort of, like how do you guys? I mean, yeah,
Well,
speak on it.
Tajay has a tour tutorial. If you go back and look at his Twitter, you might he has a few pointers about this experience.
Pack light.
I think, well, overall the blanket of it is that we have mad experience of touring, so now those things that would be difficult, we just kind of know how to do. But that's over years and years of trial and error. I remember like we did the ridiculous stupid shit. I mean, you live and learn on the road.
Who out of this is doing that?
Well, nobody in Soul. Well, we have 30 years of memories to dig back on. But as far as it pertains to us touring well together now, I mean, it's like a breeze now. It's like hopping on a bike, man. At this point, we're fine tuning how to make it the most efficient and the most comfortable you can with all of these all the new technology and everything. But you know, so as far as touring well together, and anything you've been doing for 30 years continuously, you got some things kind of worked out, you know, and a lot of that is how we get down. You know, we've been doing this literally since we were kids, so yeah. There's always adversity here and there when it comes to, you never know what's gonna happen on the tour, like you get a flat tire, like somebody gets sick, whatever the hell, but all the basics we got, you know, we got tour 101 all the way up to the master's degree, you know?
Yeah. So when I was thinking and conjuring up like themes and keywords for this interview, and I was pondering on it, you know, some keywords that came up for me, for you guys are like legacy, you know, career, longevity, history, infinity, like literally, like, you know, you guys are still doing this from the time that you put that in the air, you know, 93 till infinity. You know, and you're all still together as a unit, all still together as a gang. I mean, that's really special, especially in hip hop, right? Like, you know, it's kind of rare, you know, in some regards, right? People break off, they do their own thing, they don't come back together, and yeah, I just wanted to like kind of, I don't know if there's a question involved there, I just wanted to like give praise to that, you know?
I appreciate that, and I have to say this, man, when we went independent, you know, when Dom basically was like, we don't got to go back to a label, we could do it on our own, and sort of laid out the pathway. I think that really has a lot to do with our ability to have this longevity, because we can put out our own records. We all got our own records.
Yes, of course.
But it doesn't mean that, I mean, we're allowed to put them out.
Of course.
Guess what? We know the owners of the label
Yeah,
who happen
right.
to be us. Whereas I think a lot of other times, the industry pushes you to not be able to do collaborative projects and side projects and all these things because they're so worried about the franchise that they control, and then that becomes so restrictive, or such, you know, that falls apart because people aren't allowed to grow. I think we've been allowed to grow, but you still have this core unit that is basically Hiero Imperium. So it's given us, we have a home with an open door policy kind of thing.
Yeah, you can do it the way you want to do it.
Can we make some noise for 30 years of Souls of Mischief one time? I'm gonna tell you something crazy about that 30 years. Of those 30 years, 28 of those years we have been completely independent. Someone try to put your middle fingers in the sky one time. Say it with me now. Say fuck the industry. Say fuck the industry. Say fuck the industry.
I think a lot of it though is also we stayed true to our aesthetic, which allowed for our fan base to be as loyal as it is and stay with us for 30 years. And I think that we didn't really deviate from what Hiero represented, what the logo represented, which has always been like true progressive hip hop and with a positive vibe. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that has fed into why, you know, we've been here, you know, till infinity. You know, we will be here till infinity.
Absolutely. Well, Godspeed, you got another 30 in the clip. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Souls of Mischief, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
It means a lot. Like I just want to make you guys feel older than me, but legit, first rap show I ever saw, and I come from a small little town in Nanaimo on Vancouver Island. I was 13. I was 27 years ago, and I'm here chopping it up with you guys all the time later.
Yeah,
So
you guys remember that?
Full circle.
do you remember that?
remember that, Nanaimo.
It was in like a big,
Yeah.
like barn.
In
looking
that big
thing.
barn.
Yeah.
100% remember that show.
That's all the members there.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, all the
last
members
night,
were
and I
there.
mentioned that to him.
That was that era. They just put out Balance, and that was around that time too. So.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So
That was
first rap show. That was the first rap show I ever
How
went.
many years ago was that?
20. I did the math today. I'm 40. It's 27 years ago.
Wow.
So here we are, man.
Salute, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you again, man, for sure.
No doubt.
All right, John Zee, Souls of Mischief, the mighty Souls of Mischief. Peace, y'all. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate
Thank you.
Appreciate that.